Hello and welcome back to Harry Fagel's Ballsmack Poetry. I hope you're having a fantastic day, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is while you're watching. I just hope you're watching. And if you're new to the channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell button, all the buttons, because I want you to make sure you're informed and that you get the latest updates, at least weekly, hopefully, of new poetry that we're producing here. Don't forget, down the road, we have plans to bring in a lot of other local artists, a lot of local poets, musicians, painters, photographers, you name it. We want to try to expand into and just really capture the Vegas art scene and what's going on. My producer, Raul Blotbot, behind the camera over there. He's a hell of a guy, and we're going to get started. As you know, if you're new here, you don't know, but if you've been here, you know that I talk a little bit about the pieces I'm going to be doing and performing, give you a little insight on what inspired me or where they came from. Today's poems are really kind of a blast from the past. They're both really important poems to me for two different reasons. The first one, Tolerationismschism. Tolerationismschism was a poem that was commissioned by AFAN, which is Aid for AIDS Nevada. There was a representative of AFAN that worked at not Grouchy John's. That's, by the way, Grouchy John's, best coffee in town. I'll throw that plug. Nice. But back before Grouchy John's, there was a coffee shop called Cafe Roma that used to be at 4440 Maryland Parkway. And this old school coffee shop was during the early 90s, was the hub of kind of the Vegas art scene. It was one of the places where a lot of artists got their start. A lot of interesting people that are now successful played there, including the Killers, and I could go on. There was open mic poetry, open guitar nights, and it was really a cool spot. Josh Brown was one of the managers there, and he was involved with AFAN, which is Aid for AIDS Nevada. And he came to me and asked me if I would write a poem for the charity. And that's when I wrote Tolerationismschism. And it's one of my personal favorite pieces. It's a little dated now because it's older, but it is important still, and it is tributing Dr. Seuss. You're going to hear a reference directly to Horton the elephant in several lines of this poem. And there's a reason for that. I always felt that Dr. Seuss, he's one of my muses, one of the people that I look to as a poet, and he really kind of captured some universal truths in his work, and this is one of them. So hope you enjoyed that one. Tolerationismschism. Horton heard a who, did you? Elephant as big as the earth. All about toleration. A person's a person no matter how small. Metaphor to live by. Golden rule. Live and let live. RESPECT. Just be. A person's a person no matter how small. Or black. Or white, or Mexican, or Chinese, or fat, or skinny, or male, or female, or young, or old, or hip, or freak, or straight, or gay, or here, or there, or anywhere. A person's a person, no matter how dying of AIDS. The new leper is here, defined in rumor and false knowledge, carrying ticking time bomb, the end hammered out in hemoglobin. The last stop, train station terminus, death in an endless screaming roller coaster where the ferryman takes tiny pieces and flings them to news hounds, barking and shitting and whelping, clamoring for more. The famous cry quietly inside, smiling at hot lights during public tales of courage, hoping to raise our consciousness, but still we shrink from the sick, recoiling, and painting on concerned, happy faces as we rush to wash our hands, guilty yet relieved, as the water washes alien life forms down endless sewer pipes, anywhere away from us. And we point at the fags, and we point at the dopers, and we point at the sexually free, and hide behind filthy, stinking walls of moral horseshit as babies die shivering in the empty clutch of rubber-clad gloves. And sometimes we pretend that something so horrible only happens to the evil. But quick we are to nervously glance over our shoulders to see if the grimly grimmer reaper stabs us with vials of HIV. We too become the shunned outcast, the walking dead. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't you fucking touch me! The world falling away from you. Soon we walk looking for needles in movie seat cushions and bark and clicking our tongues at same-sex marriage and shouting whore at the top of our lungs when the broken hooker dies in the free clinic. Where's Horton? Where's Horton? Horton's tears large, salty mirrors reflecting wisdom. We forgot. Say it again. A person's a person no matter how small. A person's a person no matter how dying of AIDS. All of us, the world inside and out. Evil, good, or fucking otherwise. I challenge myself to just touch the hand of a stranger with HIV and let them feel my love and not wash until tomorrow. Another poem I'm doing today is called Doo-Doo. Now, I've closed many poetry shows with this poem. You may have heard it before if you've ever followed me or been to any of the live stuff that I've done. I think it's on my CD as well. Basically, it's a poem about shitting your pants. You'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, what's more important is about the humanity of police officers. When I wrote that poem, I was a young cop. I'd been doing the job for a while, but I didn't have the 25 years behind me like I do now. I'm retired. This poem really describes just the humanity, and if you ever get too worried about the police, don't forget we're people too. They're people too. We're all people, and that's an important thing to remember every day. So, Doo-Doo. Working as a cop is just so much about responsibility. And that's what I figured as I stood and listened to the drunk telling me the story about the problem that I was there to solve. And in the midst of his epic, I felt a sudden stirring deep within the center of the middle of my bowels, a vicious, ugly churning, a gastrointestinal yearning, a sour stomach burning, and this is what I said. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it'll be okay. Take 2 Valium, drink some more Mad Dog, sleep in the living room, she'll forgive you first thing tomorrow in the fresher light of day. And I ran to my car. In that run, we all know to be the squeezing of the cheeks together to keep from dropping cheese. Vroom, start the car, dropping it drive, code 3 lights and sirens, steady 85, whipping down the parkway, praying right aloud to the keeper of the toilets that I make it there somehow. Fire station, fire station, fire station, yay! That's the best place to take a seat at this particular time of day. Plus, it's also really close, merely 10 blocks away. I pull in with a fiery ward, slam my brakes and stop, and cheeks still braced together. I skip, jump, run, and hop to the door, the station house door. Ooh, punching the number, punching the code, fingers shake like an 80-year-old's. Got it, shuffle, step, slide, till I'm finally inside the commode. Now fingers fairly fly, buttons, belt, and zipper fly. Gotta get the gun out, all the equipment too. The ass alarm is going off, there's nothing I can do. I extremely force my pants out and cry, oh God, you can't. But it's too late for prayers above. I shit right in my pants. Now what? Now what? You ask, what can I do? Well, cops, we're smart. We carry knives, and there's a reason for that too. I deftly cut my underpants and strip them from my butt and try to flush them down the john, but unfortunately, they stuck. Now water pours out of the bowl and splashes on the floor, and I stand there in my uniform praying no one comes through the door. With squinted eyes and steely nerve, I reach and grab the clog and rip it from its mooring, and I grip its gruesome sog, and I stuff it in a rubber glove I carry in my shirt that someone told me I might need in case someone got hurt. And I stuff it in a garbage can and smile and laugh and grin, because I got away with poopy pants and no one knew my sin. With that, I pulled my pants up and really felt all right when suddenly it dawned on me, in the middle of my emergency, with all that rush of urgency, I forgot to wipe. Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
So, sit back, enjoy, and please comment and like. Love you all. Enjoy Ballsmack poetry.